The highest court in the land, the verdict unanimous, the decision chilling for the Prime Minister. His reasons for suspending Parliament not good enough.
This prolonged suspension of parliamentary democracy took place in quite exceptional circumstances. The effect on the fundamentals of our democracy was extreme. No justification for taking action with such an extreme effect has been put before the court.
The Supreme Court ruled Boris Johnson had abused his power when he suspended Parliament in the run-up to Brexit Day.
The decision to advise Her Majesty to prorogue Parliament was unlawful because it had the effect of frustrating or preventing the ability of Parliament to carry out its constitutional functions without reasonable justification.
The 5-week suspension to October the 14th, unlawful and undone.
Parliament has not been prorogued. This is the unanimous judgment of all 11 justices.
Those who brought the case delighted and demanding MPs get back to work.
The Supreme Court has unanimously ruled that Parliament has not been prorogued. So there is nothing to stop us, members of Parliament such as myself and my colleagues, from resuming immediately the important job of scrutinising this minority Tory government as we hurtle towards Brexit.
They won't have to wait long.
I've instructed the House authorities to undertake such steps as are necessary to ensure that the House of Commons sits tomorrow and that it does so at 11:30 a.m.
This man's position looking rather precarious, but the real Boris Johnson in New York for now defiant. His challenges in court, the enemies of Brexit.
I strongly disagree with what the justices have found. I don't think that it's right, but we will go ahead and, of course, Parliament will come back. But I think the most important thing is we get on and deliver Brexit on October the 31st. And there's clearly the claimants in this case are determined to try to frustrate that.
Number 10 clear Mr Johnson's staying put. Political opponents have other ideas.
I invite Boris Johnson, in the historic words, to consider his position and become the shortest serving Prime Minister there's ever been.
On the face of it, this couldn't get worse for the Prime Minister. He's lost a by-election. He's lost his parliamentary majority. He's lost every vote he's brought to the floor of the Commons. And now, the most humbling defeat of all, he's lost in the Supreme Court. But where does it leave him? What does it actually change? Parliament and Mr Johnson are still in gridlock. He won't resign. They won't give him an election until he agrees to delay Brexit, and all the while we are heading for an even bigger legal, political, constitutional collision on the bumpy road to Brexit. Mr Johnson being dragged back onto the Brexit battlefield and back to the dispatch box. Here to not just face furious MPs, but to face them down. He still believes the people are behind him. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.